Imagine this. An island claimed by both Russia and Japan, and suddenly Russian President Vladimir Putin himself visits it. Tokyo is furious. But why is this tiny group of islands so strategically important? And what does it have to do with Indo Pacific geopolitics and India? Russian President Vladimir Putin visited Iturup Island, part of the Kuril Islands chain, on 30th August 2026. Russia controls the island, but Japan claims it as Etorofu and considers it part of its northern territories. Japan strongly protected the visit, making this much more than a routine presidential trip. So, hello everyone, and welcome to the latest update series of Mastoora IAS. So, let's discuss about the topic. Now, first discuss and understand about the map. The Kuril Islands form a chain strengthening between Japan's Hokkaido and Russia's Kamchatka Peninsula. The main focus of the dispute is the four southern islands. Yuturupu, Japan calls it Etorofu. Kunashir, Japan calls it Kunashiri. Shikotan and Habomai Islands. Russia calls these the southern Kurils, while Japan calls them the northern territories. Now, why are Russia and Japan fighting over them? The roots go back to World War II. In 1945, as Japan surrendered, the Soviet Union occupied the Kuril Islands. Since then, Russia has maintained control, while Japan has continued to claim sovereignty over the four southern islands. This dispute is important because Russia and Japan have still not signed a formal post-World War II peace treaty, largely because of this territorial issue. Now, why did Japan object? So Putin's visit carries a strong political message. For Japan, a Russian president physically visiting a territory that Tokyo claims can be seen as a demonstration of Russian sovereignty and military political control. That is why Tokyo issued a diplomatic protest. Now, why are these islands important to Russia? Now, this is where the UPSC geopolitics angle begins. First, its strategic location. The Kuril Islands connect the Russian Far East with the Pacific. Their location gives Russia important strategic access and helps protect its position around the Sea of Okhotsk. Second, military significance. The islands have military infrastructure and have become increasingly important in Russia's Far Eastern security strategy. Then third, economic importance. The surrounding waters are rich in fisheries and other marine resources, so the dispute is not only about territory, it is also about maritime resources and economic interest. Now, why does this matter for the Indo-Pacific? This is the most important UPSC connection. The Kuril dispute is an example of how historical territorial disputes continue to influence modern Indo-Pacific security. The region already has several flashpoints. Kuril Islands, Russia versus Japan, Senkaku Ryukyu Islands, Japan versus China, South China Sea, multiple overlapping claims, then Taiwan Strait, China, Taiwan, US strategic tensions. So, a small island can have huge geopolitical importance because of its location, military value, maritime routes, and resources. Now, what does it mean for India? For India, there is an interesting strategic balancing challenge. On one side, Japan is an important Indian partner in the Indo-Pacific. India and Japan cooperate through platforms such as the Quad, maritime security initiatives, and efforts towards a free and open Indo-Pacific. On the other hand, Russia remains an important strategic partner for India. Therefore, India has to maintain its traditional principle of strategic autonomy. Now, India's approach is essential. A strong partnership with Japan plus a strategic relationship with Russia plus support for a stable and rules-based Indo-Pacific. Now, this has a main UPSC mains connection. This topic has a very UPSC mains connection with this. If you get a question on discuss the impact of Territorial disputes on security in the Indo Pacific. You can use the Kuril Islands as a case study and follow this framework: historical legacy, then territorial sovereignty, then strategic location, then military significance, then maritime resources, then great power rivalry, then Indo Pacific security. And this is the geopolitical dynamics. The Ukraine war on Feb 2022, Russia invades Ukraine, then reaction, Japan's sanctions, then consequence diplomatic freeze. At the last, I just conclude my words by just saying that Putin's visit to the disputed Kuril Island is not simply about one island or one diplomatic protest. It contains what was taken history, territorial sovereignty, maritime security, Russia-Japan relations, and the larger Indo-Pacific power struggle. And for India, the key lesson is clear. In geopolitics, geography may be mixed, but strategic partnerships and power equations are constantly changing. So I hope you like the way of my explanation and you like the topic. So for further more updates, if you want the PDF of this topic, so you can join our Telegram channel. The link is mentioned below in the description box. So thank you so much.